We talked about the three myths that surrounded IT automation that we addressed in the earlier session. Now I'm going to show you a demo on human guided automation, and that relates to the third myth. So I'm going to raise an incident, and we are going to demonstrate how incident management um, can be addressed, or the time to resolve an incident can be reduced by using automation. So let me create a new incident. So I'm clicking on the new. Now I'm showing you ServiceNow here, but it could be any other ITSM tool. Um, so let me just choose the right category and the subcategory. So I'm choosing a configuration item. So I'm clicking on the submit. So my incident is 38557. So that's my incident. Now I'm going to role play the role of an L1 agent, and I'm just going to open this incident. I've been assigned this incident, and I'm going to see how resolve can enable me in a human guided form. Now this some of these steps have been automated end to end, and some of them have a human intervention as well. Now to begin with, you see that the work notes has already been populated by some details. So Resolve has already ran some automation scripts on the background. But I also see this button known as guided resolution. So I'm going to click that, and now hereafter Resolve will take me to the next level of presenting me with a resolution dashboard. Typically, we have got used to knowledge articles that L1 agents use. They are generally very static in nature. Um, but here you see this particular dashboard, the resolution dashboard, showing me the context of the issue. Now here, this is the incident, but it could also show me an event in case there was an event in Netcool that was, or any other monitoring tool. I could see that. I have access to the CI. Now, generally, an L1 agent doesn't have access to CMDB, but in a very controlled manner, he is presented information on that CI, and everything seems to be good. On the right hand side, you have color coding mechanism. Now, the here you see that the L1 agent is presented with a status of the incident. The reported issue has been validated, and we see a 404 HTTPS error here. Now, even if I do not understand that, I know it is red. I know that's a failure point there. So I use color coding mechanism to sort of show where an L1 agent should look into hereafter. I can see relationship with other ITSM incidents changes. At this point, pretty much an L1 agent would throw his hand in the air because he really cannot proceed beyond this. He can collate some information, but beyond that, he may not necessarily have information about network. But here we see a network script, automation script being run, and you see everything is green. So as long as it's all green, he knows everything is fine from a network, from a database perspective. There's some analytics done with regard to how many such whether this error message has been found in some log files, and Splunk integration shows me that. But anyway, as an L1 agent, I go back and I click on this red icon, which hereafter Resolve will now present me with troubleshooting mechanisms on how to go ahead. Now, if you look on the left hand side, this panel, there have been questions asked. If you see the first question and you see there's an auto answer, which means that in some cases the system would find an answer for you. If I look into this particular question, the question was, what is the application? And Resolve has already identified the right application, but now it wants me to address question number two, is asking me which of the following issue has to be addressed? Is it CPU, memory, or heap? So what I would do is, if I just scroll down here, you would see that it has already identified the heap to be critical. So what I do is that I just click on the heap. So again, Resolve is now guiding me. In some cases, already taken a decision for me, but now he's giving me an option. Where do you want to sort of focus on? Because you see, there's a warning on CPU, right? So that's where the human choice exists. You may want to go in a route different from what is recommended. So anyway, in this case, I'll choose Java heap, and here is the repair procedure presented to me. So what I'll do is that in this case, he wants me to click the submit button, so these steps will be carried out. But let me click on this button, and meanwhile I'll just go through these steps for you to understand what they really mean. If you look at the step 1, it's about getting the username password for that particular server, which typically an L1 agent will not have access to. And subsequently, we need to wait for the session, all the sessions to die out after having removed the web server from the cluster. Wait for all the sessions to die out, and you see on the bottom, they gave me a warning because the sessions were still alive, and when it comes to 0, it proceeded with the rest of the steps, which means that they were able to shut down the web server, restart it, and then add it back to the cluster. So at this point, the question is the web server up and running? And once I validated it, I'll click this button. It says yes, I want the incident to be resolved, and I can put in my notes if needed, but and then I can just click on the resolve incident, and the incident would get resolved, and even that will be shown in the worksheet here. So here I see that these works nodes have been added. If I go back to my incident in ServiceNow, I should be able to see that that particular incident has been resolved. Okay, so let me just click on seeing all the incidents. So here it is. It was 38557. It has been completely resolved. Now, although in this context I showed you ServiceNow, I could be working with Jira or BMC Remedy. When I click this button, guided resolution, I was still within the same pane of glass, because I not take them into a different application, but I could really move it out of ServiceNow into a different web page by itself. I could also see what happened in retrospect. I can view all the actions that was done by the L1 agent. So we have something known as worksheet, which is basically an Elasticsearch NoMySQL database, which will show you all the actions that was done. And you see all these actions are here. They're all presented in a manner wherein you can audit and see what has happened. So you get a lot of information about what was done, even though they were automated to a good extent. I could even look what was the troubleshooting mechanism that was triggered here. So these are all these hyperlinks all indicate runbooks that were invoked in this particular resolution. Okay, and if I were to let me just click one of them. Okay, I wanted to show you this particular one, the troubleshooting procedure, and you will see the runbook with all the questions that was presented to the L1 agent. Let me click on the edit, and I'll show you those questions. So the human intervention is all about asking user, prompting him, making recommendations, and making him make a choice. Although some of those steps can be automated fully, as you saw in the case of identifying which was a web server. So here on the screen, you will see a decision tree with all the questions that was asked. What was application experience in the issue, and then of course the system automatically chose Tomcat. That was this particular option, and then of course the question was which issue need to be addressed, and then we had CPU, memory, or Apache Java heap. I could go and edit this particular decision tree and add more option if needed. So all I need to do is I just need to drag and create a new option. And I could, maybe I'll choose disk as one of the parameter. So there would be another runbook on that, and I could choose that runbook, and that would be the other option that I want to consider. So in a way, it's not just about coming with good runbooks. It's also about your ability to edit them and use them appropriately. Okay, so we started off with a particular incident, and we showed how Resolve was handy enough to quickly and in a very appropriate manner enable me to quickly take some decisions based on some questions that was posed to me, and I could go and resolve that particular incident in a quick manner. Okay, so that was a demo on human guided automation. Thank you.